Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, honorable members. I rise to present the report from the Gambian delegation on behalf of the delegation. On behalf of the Gambian delegation, I convey to you warm greetings from the government and people of the Republic of the Gambia. We are pleased to extend our compliments to this August plenary and to have the honor to present to the Community Parliament our country report. First, starting with the economic situation, we are pleased to report that the Gambia economic has continued to show resilience and steady recovery, with real GDP growth reaching 5.7% in 2024, according to the World Bank Fifth Economic Update. The strong performance reflects ongoing recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, robust growth in the service sector, increased investment, and effective macroeconomic management. A moderation in inflation and improved household consumption have contributed to reducing extreme poverty, although structural challenges and external vulnerabilities continue to weigh on the economic long-term trajectory. Inflationary pressure eased to 11.7% in 2024, driven by firm monetary policies and a decline in global commodity prices. The central bank policy stand combined with rising labor incomes and remittance inflow helped strengthen household purchasing power and reduce poverty levels slightly from 20.7% in 2024 to 20.4% in 2025. Public debt has declined gradually but remains elevated at 71.2% of GDP. According to the World Bank, underscoring the need for continued fiscal discipline, effective debt management, and prudent borrowing practices to safeguard macroeconomic stability and support sustainable growth. The medium-term outlook remains positive, with growth projected to average 5.6 throughout 2027, supported by broad-based sectoral activity, continued fiscal stability. However, the economic faces persistent structural and external challenges, including adverse weather impacts on agriculture, inflationary pressure, and widening fiscal deficit and heavy reliance on informal employment. Social and welfare situation. And in this, I may not read everything, but I'll just read some of the most salient points so that I won't be caught in time. Poverty reduction and social protection programs. Since the 2017 household survey, the Gambia has made measurable progress in strengthening its national social protection and welfare system, guided principally by the National Social Protection Policy 2015-2025. Over the years, government institutions supported by development partners have expanded targeted interventions aimed at reducing vulnerability and improving household resilience. Moving on to another point that is on page 4, 3.2, labor market, employment, and youth inclusion. The Gambia labor market has undergone gradual transformation over the past decade, marked by initiatives aimed at increasing employment opportunities, enhancing workforce skills, and integrating youth into productive economic activities. As of 2025, the country labor force is estimated at approximately 600,000 individuals, with youth ages 15 to 35 continuingly nearly 60% of the active labor job seekers. The government, recognizing the critical demographic weight of youth and structural challenges of unemployment, has implemented policies to enhance job creation, foster entrepreneurship, and expand access to vocational and technical skills development. We move on to another subheading, that is the health and child welfare. According to UNICEF 2023 Country Office Annual Report, about 49.4% of the country population is under 18 years of age. This demographic profile underlines the importance of sustained investment in preventive care and social services. Consistent of this fact, the government of the Gambia has been committed to implementing series of targeted interventions to improve health outcomes and advance child welfare, aligned with the National Health Policy 2017-2025 and the Child Welfare and Protection Policy. These interventions focus on expanding access to primary and maternal health care, strengthening immunization programs, addressing child malnutrition, and enhancing social protection measures for vulnerable households. I will also move now to another point, that is 3.4, disability inclusion and social protection. The government of the Gambia has progressively strengthened policies and programs to promote the inclusion of persons with disability aligned with the National Disability Policy 2019, the Persons with Disability Act 2010, and the international frameworks such as the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability. I will now move on to page 6 on 3.5, that is Transitional Justice Program. Following the approval of the Special Hybrid Tribunal for the Gambia in December 2024 by this August House, we are happy to report that significant progress has been registered in establishing accountability mechanism envisaged under the Transitional Justice Program. A special prosecutor office has now been formally established with the mandate to investigate and prosecute crimes committed during the former regime, particularly those identified by the TRRC, that is Truth and Repression Commission. This office is supported by the Special Criminal Division of the High Court, which has been operational since early 2024 and is designated to hear serious human rights and related offenses arising from the TRRC process. Moving on now to page 7, trafficking in person. Trafficking in person to the Gambia remains a persistent challenge driven by porous borders, economic vulnerabilities, and the country's growing labor and tourism market. Victims, who are predominantly women and children from neighboring West African states such as Senegal, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Ghana, and Mali, are trafficked into the country for purposes that include sexual exploitation, domestic servitude, street vending, and low-wage labor. Now I move on to 4.0, the status implementation of the community tax initiatives or programs, projects within member states. The first one, cross-border cooperation, that is Wellingaraba Lumo Market Project. One of the flagship ECOWAS cross-border cooperation initiative in the Gambia is the Wellingaraba Lumo Market Project, implemented under the ECOWAS cross-border cooperation support program. The goal is to develop a modern cross-border trading center to boost economic activities, facilitate regional trade, and strengthen social cohesion in the border area. I will now move on to ECOWAS Regional Electricity Access Project. In September 2025, the Gambia hosted the 10th ECOWAS Sustainability Energy Forum, where officials reaffirmed the importance of cross-border cooperation to expand power infrastructure, accelerate the clean energy transition. This commitment aligns with ECOWAS-driven initiatives such as the Regional Electricity Access Project, which support the expansion of medium and low voltage distribution network across member states. And now moving on to another point, that is ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme. The Gambia continues to benefit from ongoing reforms under the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme, that is the ETLS, which remains the region's priority instrument for enabling duty-free circulation of goods originating within the ECOWAS region. Now I also move on to, since time is running, ECOWAS Red Cross Cooperation Agreement, that's 4.4. In October 2025, ECOWAS, the government of the Gambia, and the Gambia Red Cross Society signed a project cooperation agreement to support persons affected by displacement, that's refugees, IDPs, returnees, and their host communities. Now also moving on to another important area, that is the ECOWAS Fistula project. The Gambia is committed to align with ECOWAS and other partners to eliminate obstetric fistula by 2030. According to UNFPA 2023 report, there is an estimated 335 to 1,052 women living with fistula in the country. In May 2023, a UNFPA-led campaign raised the awareness, resulted in 150 calls to the National Obstetric Fistula Helpline, indicating a surge in women seeking information and treatment. And then now I will now conclude by saying, in conclusion, the delegation on behalf of the people of the Republic of the Gambia wishes to reiterate that the Gambia is ever committed to the ideals of the regional bloc and shall never relent in its efforts for the integration process of the ECOWAS community. Thank you. Merci. Obrigado.